Hi, I'm Anthony Koutafidis from the Carlton Football Club, and you're watching Fox Footy Channel.
The 2003 AFL Premiership season.
Thompson will fly. He's kicked one of the goal already. Cousins still running. It goes up.
Welcome to the replay of Essendon versus Collingwood from the MCG. Big Anzac Day clash here on Fox Footy.
Cloudless sky. The umpires today, McBurney, James and Allen. Away we go. McKee taps it down. O'Brien onto the loose ball. Johnson with the right boot down towards half forward. Cloak gathers the bouncing footy. Full-chested. Gets a hand pass away. Johnson runs on. Needs the kick. Does. Wheelayed free. Wheelayed free about 15 metres out. The play goes on. Ignore all of this. It will be a free kick down the ground. No overtime. No double time. No goal. I don't think.
I played a downfield free kick. Do you know where it went? Yeah, downfield.
Well, it's a massive emotional build-up, Dermot. We've spoken about it all day. These players will be feeling it. You just don't want Paul Barnard to give away a dumb free kick like that.
Do you know where it went?
It's where the ball landed.
The answer is through the goals.
Well, you're right onto it there, Gary, because as you said, the massive emotional context which you run out onto the ground with, that was just a slapping palms of the tackle by Barnard onto the shoulders, and it was just designed to hurt. That's emotion.
Didn't meet your lofty standards. Malloy comes in, kicks the goal.
Well, Paul Barnard, who's cooled his heels last week after a one-game suspension, he was never going to do any damage to Jason Cloak that he was going to worry too much about. Or Ben Johnson this occasion. I mean, if Johnson had the choice of taking that all day and winning a goal for Jared Malloy, he's going to take it every single time.
And you watch the way they set up here. The first bounce was noticeable that O'Brien played behind McKee and sat well out of the pack to the right-hand side of the screen. So if they win possession, Collingwood might try and feed it backwards before they go forward. O'Brien's at the right again. He'll sit out the back.
Essendon missing 9 of the players that played in this game last year as Peverill gets the takeaway. Barnard comes hard, gets the handball out to James Hird, wobbles it towards attacking 50 over the head of Harvey. Locken comes out, attacks it hard. Johnson for Collingwood. Roiund, Magpies away from halfback. Goes for the long kick. Cloak gets there. Just inside the boundary, southern stand side.
Hold it there. Don't grab him after he marks. Thanks.
Umpire McBurney ordering McPhee on the Welsh on the mark, in fact. Just stay where he was. Wide kick over the head of Buckley, and Tarrant just gets bumped over the line by Peverill. The umpire says toss it in.
Essendon, of course, haven't been great starters this season.
Haven't won one.
Haven't not won a first quarter for 2003, so they'd be keen to get on the board early.
Tossed in out of side then. Cloak over the top. Malloy knocks it forward. O'Brien towards the boundary line. Cloak comes again. Was he held? Not according to the umpire. It's out of bounds once more.
Lucas started back for Essendon. He's picked up Rocker across Collingwood's half-forward line. Just tried to stretch him a bit, Mick, here. I think Mick Moldhouse. Cloak started forward as well.
Welsh knocks it down this time. McGough. Johnson. He's been busy. Poor kick inside the 50. Tarrant stopped it. Couldn't control it. Jason Johnson. Interesting hand pass. They've got a problem out there. Jacobs. Was he pushed in the back? I think he was. He'll get the free kick. Bit lucky. Untidy by the Bombers.
In the back.
Hill's playing on McKee. McKee's trying to drop back behind play, and they're going to play a man on McKee, not allowing him to assist his own backman.
Very good to see, Dermot.
Lucas, who made his debut on Anzac Day. Short. This is Welsh. Left half back. Umpires barking the instructions. Welsh pumps it around the outer side. High ball. Williams coming back over the top. McKee, terrific grab.
Most of the players been in Collingwood's half so far. McKee chips it wide. Mark taken by Williams. Southern stand wing. The umpires trying to make sure they stay in control early. Long kick over the head of Rocker. Lucas fights with the herd for the ball. Gathers. He's in turn gathered. In the end, McVeigh got them out of trouble to Peveril. Wide kick. The marks taken by Reynolds. Out of side wing.
They've already got a problem at half forward. They can't break it.
James Hird. Drop punt. Heads in the Lloyd direction over his head. Race on Lloyd. And Johnson. Ball not clear. Johnson taps it to Prestigiacomo. Arrogantly keeps the ball alive. Prestigiacomo out on the full.
Good pressure by Lloyd there.
Had the option of taking it out. Took the wrong option. Rioli the free.
Hill gone straight to the goal square, taking McKee down there. Fancies himself after 4 goals. It's a good tactic. Get McKee in an area he's not that comfortable with.
Rioli wobbles it inside 50. Cut off by Johnson. His 5th possession. One of the 3 Johnsons playing this afternoon. To Wakeland, to Williams. Terrible kick outside 50. Jason Johnson comes hard. Buckley comes just as hard. Diving in, Freeborn got the handball out just in time. Collingwood should come away with it. Wide handball from Williams to Woden on the wing.
Back towards the middle. Pitches in front of Rocker. Clean bowled. Brilliantly done by Lucas. Breaks away. Probing kick inside the 50. Lloyd. Oh, great movement. Lloyd on the move. Saw it ahead of time. Terrible kick though. Woden gets back. Takes the mark. He started well. Goes towards the wing. Williams. Meters in the clear. Hits the ground running. Kicks inside the 50. Tarrant. Deep to the pocket. Marks on the 50. Cloak is going back to the square. Needs to work the angle into mine. Short. Too tall for Rocker. Loose ball at the back. O'Brien. Hand passes across to Tarrant. 45 out. Snaps. It floats. They'll compete about 5 metres out. Not forward by Johnson. Lacuria. Snaps. And misses.
Gee, a lot of short passing at the moment and missing targets or getting chopped off as Woden did back here. Just think sometimes when you've got a big game like this, there is an advantage in going long to the square and putting some ground pressure on the opposition.
Jacobs from fullback, just repeating no Fletcher this afternoon. Hurd! Big leap over Woden. The 2 Brownlow medalists go at it. Jason Johnson had it. They had him. O'Brien find the handball out in Didak's direction. Eventually, Rocker. Back to Didak. Again, a centering ball, high ball. Lucuria crunch with Mark Johnson. It's fast and furious and fierce. Packed forms. Solomon over it, knocks it out. Big tackle laid by McVeigh. And will get a ball up. You couldn't ask for more commitment than this.
Thanks, Ryan.
Big leap. Almost. Big hit. Here's the bounce. Malloy, clean possession. Didak missed it. Woden tied up. Made his debut against Melbourne, or rather for Melbourne, against North Melbourne, round 1 of 1987. And that day he played on Glenn Freeborn, a teammate today.
Jason Johnson all by himself this side of the pack.
Neither ruckman touched the ball. McGough's got it. Somehow found some space. Malloy, nicely worked. Lacuria, all the time in the world. Kicks a goal.
Now, if Jason Johnson is on this side of the pack, that sounds good if it's in the midfield or it's in his own forward line. But when you're in defence, see him there, comes in now. That means he's got an opponent somewhere else in their forward line at a bounce down by himself. So, well, just have to pick up who his direct opponent is, but I think it was Lacuria at that bounce down. So that's a costly non-conformity to the matchups.
Collingwood in relative control early. 35 possessions to Essendon's 14. The last time these 2 teams met, just 7 home and away games ago, Essendon had 8 goals to 2 on the board with a hot start. From the ball up, McKee can't get the takeaway. No one can break free. And we'll get another bounce in the middle. Jason Johnson slowly getting to his feet. Bombers still yet to score. Big pack around this ball up. McKee and Hill go at it. Somehow Buckley got smothered by his opposite number 5. Got it back again to Woden. High kick inside 50. Good mark taken. Running with the flight of the ball by Jacobs.
That's his strength, Danny Jacobs, is his ability to mark in those situations. Tarrant is going to present problems when he gets on the lead.
To Jason Johnson, wide. Lucas takes the mark at half-back flank in front of O'Brien.
This is their fall down, Dwayne. The next kick, where it lands, is where they're falling down.
Well, they fell right down there, Dermot.
Yeah.
You can't fall down much worse than that.
Perfect call. You can't get on the end of them.
Perfect call. There goes Williams, back towards half-forward. Rockers in front, fisted away by Lucas. Jason Johnson. McVeigh from half-back, short. Barnard stretches. He was outnumbered. He took the mark just as well. Just forward of half-back. Back after a term of suspension. Goes down towards half-forward. Lloyd on the lead. Gathers the bouncing footy. Feigns a hand pass. Pulls it back towards the middle. Buckley couldn't chop it off. Solomon put the body in. Peverill gets a hand pass away. Hurd wide of the mark. Bounces out of bounds in the pocket.
Well, Matthew Lloyd's had a couple of kicks and a couple of marks. Now, in normal circumstances, that would result in a couple of shots at goal, but because they are struggling across half-forward, he's been 50 and 60 metres away, and as Dermot rightly points out, it is a problem. The other one, you've got Woden and Hurd running together, and you've also got Peverill and Buckley, two pivotal matchups in this match.
Magpies by 13 points. Tossed in. Hill in front. McKee easily towards midfield. They come from all angles. Bolton did well. Breaks away. 70 metres from goal. Sets it up towards Reynolds. Going back Clement. Reynolds on his knees. Feeds a hand pass away. Cupido gets right underneath it. They'll compete about 15 metres out. Hurd flew from behind. Found it on the ground. Solomon snaps. It's a goal. James Hurd, terrific.
You want an example of why he's so good, James Hurd, is when you have a look at this replay, you can almost see the way his mind thinks here.
He's going to control it, isn't he?
Well, he realises he's caught behind. He realises he can't mark. So he changes his mind and says, I'm going to palm this down to the front and have another crack at it. And, I mean, he's cat-like with his recovery and was able to get quick hands to it. So that's where he'll trouble Shane Woden too. I'm not sure you'd want him up in the middle of the ground when you got Woden as your opponent. He caused him most problems in the forward half.
James Hurd assists Solomon to get the goal on the board for the Bombers. And James Hurd, father played 4 games for Essendon, grandfather played over 100 for Essendon. It's a day of history today. And James Hurd, he is all things to all men in this Essendon side. And he gets them on the board with help from Solomon. Bounce. McKee again takes it out of the air. Buckley, high torpedo to full forward. Front spot, nearly. Not quite Malloy. Big crunch laid. Bottom of the pack. Under it all, hoping to get up Mark Bolton, and on top of him Lucas, and in the middle of the sandwich Malloy, who didn't quite.
Good physical pressure from Rocker. That may come into play as the game wears on.
Rocker, clean possession, tosses it out. Jason Johnson grabs it, floats one back towards midfield. Awkward bounce for Rioli. Clement spikes it. Buckley arches the back, slides away, goes to half forward. Bree has it, 75 metres from goal, goes looking for Cloak. That was a perfect kick, dare we say it. Centimetre perfect. They had him in the pincer movement, and somehow Cloak found the ball on his chest. Wonderful kick.
He's the most unlikely forward of the whole lot, so he becomes dangerous because Essendon will be looking at Tarrant, they'll be looking at Rocker and Malloy. He just might sneak in, Cloak.
Centres the ball. Rocker launches himself. Tarrant from behind runs on, lays a tackle. Well done. McGough got it to Didak. Mercurius snaps. He misses, but Collingwood looking razor sharp.
Well, Joe Mercedes opposed to Paul Licuria, and he's not really getting to him in those pressure situations. He did get tackled from the ball just a split second before on that occasion, though.
Danny Jacobs long. McKee got hands on it. Has been playing well early. Didn't quite hold it. Pack forms. And we'll get a bounce.
Thank you.
Hurd has moved off the ball, gone forward. He gets picked up by Clement now when he plays forward, which is a better matchup than Woden.
Collingwood dominating possession at the moment. Only early, though. Big game atmosphere, and Buckley, big game player, picks it off, kicks high, running back with the flight. Mark Johnson was there, Jacobs was there, Tarrant might get there first. Can't quite keep it in. He does to Didak somehow. Back to Tarrant, spins around, kicks inside 50. Rocker flies, and in the middle of it all, Mercedes. Good mark. Was that even out of bounds is the big question.
Welsh comes away. Pinpoint accuracy. Hill. He's at right half back.
Hurd's on a break, hasn't seen him.
Goes towards the middle, ill-directed. Bounces onto McPhee on his knees. Back to Bolton. Across half-back. Kicks down towards half-foot. Good kick, yes. McVeigh into space. Wants to go to Cupido. Slipped his man. That was very clever. Cupido initially was moving towards the middle. Hesitated. Locken took his eyes off the footy for just a moment and was sold a pup. Watch this again.
Gee, where's as in the first row?
Unofficially.
It's a beautiful kick of the footy, Damien Cupido. He will get this journey without any worries at all.
This side down by 8 points, needing a lift. They've been outplayed so far. From right on the 50. Gives it a ride. Gun barrel strikes.
Good result for the Bombers here because they're being dominated by possessions here, and they're not little fiddly stats for Collingwood. They've had the ball 50 times and the Bombers only 36, so they really have been dominated in the middle of the ground, and yet the scores, what are they, a couple of points apart. So this is a good result for the Bombers.
Oh, it's a great result. They have been spanked, but they're close. Alessio's on into the middle. Hill goes to the goal square.
Alessio into the ruck for the Bombers, up against McKee. Good bounce to restart. Alessio jumps early. Got a hand on it. Ball picked up, spun out of the pack beautifully. High kick towards half forward. He'll get the takeaway. Johnson had it. Solomon. He's lost it for a second. Ball comes to Clement. Stolen in the end by Rioli. He can't break free of the tackle by Freeborn. Will get a bounce.
A lot of coaches, as we said last week, prefer your players to hold on to the ball when they're going to be tackled now, rather than give it up and just try and get rid of it as the normal decision-making process goes. A quick handball away. They prefer you to take it right to ground.
Solomon got the knockdown eventually. O'Brien, Woden caught. Ball in dispute. Big in the shoulder heel. They'll get out of this. Williams around the body. High towards half-back and getting there, McGough. Dishes off to Buckley. Long kick from him to half forward. Good marks at them both. Welsh, Andrew Welsh playing well at half back.
Inside the centre square. Chips it wide. Cupido, who got the last goal. Looping hand pass over the top. Releases Reynolds. Forward of the wing. Goes down towards the pocket. Lloyd juggles the mark after Prestigiacomo slipped over.
Tough kick for a left footer on that side of the ground. The breeze doesn't appear to be too strong, so perhaps not as big a factor it has been in recent weeks.
Goes in short. The mark was taken by Cupido. Interesting, he didn't toss the grass up. That's a giveaway. He's going to pass.
Exactly. They should be onto that, the Pies.
Guard the grass.
They're just mixing it up a bit down there forward 50 at the moment. The Bombers are doing pretty well. They've got what is usually a really settled back six for Collingwood, just guessing and wondering a bit at the minute.
Cupido. Great angle. 45 metres out. Goes a fair way left to right and misses. Wonderful shot of it. So a point the difference. Look at that. Stands are packed. Cloudless sky. And so far, very entertaining game, as you'd expect. Clement to bring it in. Goes for distance. Freeborn. That's a very good kick. Freeborn can run onto this one. Still hasn't been touched. Well, a bit of bad luck there for Collingwood. Solomon gets the free.
That's a set play that worked against them. They create so much space for a Tarrant to move into that there was no one coming up the footy.
Did get it all the way to the wing, which was good, but come up with it. Reynolds got on the end of the pass. High kick towards attacking 50. Big leapers go up. O'Brien stayed down to Woden to Buckley. Well worked. Wide to Didak. Can he get there? Yes, in front of Mark Johnson. Fourth possession for Didak. A long way from goal. Goes long on the lead. Cloak in front of Welsh. Cloak now in the Malloy direction. Bolton with him. Ball unkindly bounces across the boundary line, and Jared Malloy unhappy that it didn't stay, and he had worked his player under the ball, and will get a ball in.
Look at James Hird, just peels off the left-hand side of the pack. About 20 metres off this boundary line, thrown as the spare man.
Collingwood the first 2 goals, Essendon the last 2. O'Brien inside 50, but waiting under it, Jacobs, and he takes the safe catch.
Hurd created that.
Which is why you don't leave a player like Hurd to run around on his own.
There's Hurd, got it from Jacobs, uses it well. Rioli, forward of half-back, goes towards half-forward. Low down, Lloyd, a long way up the ground. Thought about going back to Rioli. Now kicks for space, Cupido. Putting a handful down there. Johnson started well. Cupido getting back into that contest. A little war within a war.
He had Locken early too, Cupido, so Johnson back onto him now. And they have got a bit of initiative in their forward 50. James Hurd changed with Jason Johnson, just cruised onto the ball and didn't have an opponent for a little while. And as you called, Dermot, he set this goal up.
That's it on the side. No closer. Thank you.
He'll kick from about 40. Out of the shade into the light. It's bending, but that is very tight. A couple of Collingwood players suggesting it brushed the post. The goal umpire didn't say that. He simply said it missed. Scores are level.
Woewodin entrusted with the kicking, dangerous, but okay to Lucuria. They had a cluster there, Collingwood. Woewodin wanted it back, but he goes wider. Wakeler.
Done pretty well here, the Bombers. Just held them up nicely.
Yeah.
Coaches will settle for that.
Both Wakeland boys have done well since departing St Kilda. Shane solid in defence now for Collingwood. Prestigiacomo wide towards Buckley, who runs. Pebbles a couple of metres away. Buckley.
Possession 8.
Inside to Clement with his 8th. Clement, long, high kick inside 50. Chance for the leapers. McPhee! Big leap over the top. Had a great mark after starting on the bench.
Very exciting. So they bring it away. Hurd.
Hurd actually kicked that to Rioli, and Rioli didn't know it was coming.
Well, he marked it. Good effort under the circumstances. He kicks out wide, close to the boundary line. Mark Johnson wants to be a boundary umpire. It's out of bounds. It'll be tossed in down towards left half forward.
Some confidence there from Adam McPhee, isn't it?
Growing,
Yes.
isn't he? Yeah, James Hurd, you can see his brain's thinking quicker than all his teammates as well.
Tossed in. Rocker knocks it down. Williams shins it forward. Rioli running out of space. Well, he kept it alive. Solomon under pressure. Lucas, not sure they should have kept it in. He's taken high, but lucky the Bombers there. Cloak was the man marked over moments ago. Will go down, I'm sure, in the posters. A bit like being shot by Jesse James, who finished up famous. Mark Johnson up near the wing. His first touch goes in short. Mercedes, right half forward, kicks inside the 50. And Lloyd takes the mark. Not sure it was intended for him. The movement was coming from Alessio. Lloyd turned around and the ball was there.
All the stimulus from Essendon at the moment is coming from their 2 champions, Hurd and Lloyd, forward of the centre.
And Lloyd is playing Prestigiacomo well too. I mean, Presti, let's have a listen.
Something happened in the square. A shepherd, an illegal shepherd, yep. So Prestigiacomo comes up with a free. Things change quickly. Kicks it up towards the wing. Rocker edged under the footy. Lucuria. Here's a chance for the Magpies. Should have given it off earlier. Over the head of O'Brien. He battles on. Well done by Johnson on his knees. Well played. Brilliant. Got it to Pepperell, to Lucas. Back towards half forward. Mercedes. Well done, Lloyd too. Bought him as much time as he could. Mercedes goes back to the middle. Look at him cruise through. Hurd. Here's danger. Bolton goes back with a flight of it. Free kick to Collingwood. Locken was pushed in the back. It's all happening. The umpire's right in the middle of happenings too as the ball is swung out towards half-back, and Clement, he breaks away, kicks down towards half-forward, hangs a long time in the air. Oh, well done, Welsh. Stepped around Cloak, and now he's running.
Bolton free on the wing. He finds him. Looks inboard. Cupido has some space. Goes with the pass. Lloyd can't quite mark it. He did the hard work. He got a yard on Prestigiacomo and couldn't quite drag it in. Last 10 minutes, that possession time has really turned around. Essendon's first 5 or so minutes was lacklustre. But that was the calm before the storm. Back into play. Ball knocked down by Alessio. Kick from Clement, half smothered. Cupido. Mercedes Jason Johnson bounced unkindly, he falls, gets around his opposite Johnson, and again around Woden, inside 50, get in there, Alessio!
Fantastic footy.
You notice one thing about Essendon's entries inside forward 50, Gary, whereas you see a lot of teams these days, and there is a time and place for it, as you call. Sometimes you pressure the opposition by going straight to the goal square. Every kick going into Essendon's forward line has been to a solitary contest. They are not kicking to big matchups, when Collingwood love that. They love peeling off their opponents and being 2-on-3 and a big long bomb coming in. But at the moment, they're kicking to leading targets and isolation and separating the Collingwood backmen.
Stephen Alessio wasn't invited to his first training session at Essendon. Went down there with a mate and asked if he could join in. This, a big kick. Can he drive it home? Just inside the posts. He's put it through. Bombers in front.
Well, I take my hat off to a young kid by the name of Andrew Welsh across half-back. That epitomised the last 10 minutes for Essendon. They're not reactive anymore, or reacting, they're proactive. He took on Cloak, and for a backman rather, a defender to take a risk and get to the front, it just sends a great signal. And the ball ends up in the hands of Johnson. Did some fancy work and got to Alessio, but well done to Welsh.
It was 13-0, Collingwood's way. Now 20 plays 14. Alessio hooks it down. Buckley missed it. McKee goes off the deck. Knocked on by Didak. Mark Johnson goes back. Too slick for Welsh. Eventually Collingwood, through weight of numbers, get it to Buckley from Didak. Long ball to pull forward. Going back with the flight of it. Bolton a problem. Comes across to Tarrant. And Tarrant has missed the behind. Great pressure there by Bolton. Missed it initially. Got back and found some body just in the nick of time.
How often do these little signs in the first quarter sometimes tell a story, you know? You just wonder whether they might be off half a fraction.
He loaded it up too. He actually could have just dribbled with his right foot, but preferred to load up on a left foot.
McKee over the top, knocks back inside the 50. McVeigh took his eye off the footy, taken down, could have been holding it. Chance for Woden, missed it. Mark Johnson did well. Rioli, Mositi. We've got ourselves a convoy. McPhee across to Solomon. Back to McPhee, runs to centre half forward. Roiund on the move. Up he goes, couldn't hang on. Crashes over Prestigiacomo. The cavalry arrives. Down goes the cavalry. Clement hand pass. Prestigiacomo knocked on by Lloyd. Brilliantly done by Johnson. Cupido. Something out of nothing. What a goal. He's second.
That is some fantastic footy, Doom. This kid Cupido is having a big first quarter. He's got some class and some touch, and he's played inside 55. 5 marks he's taken. He's had 7 possessions, and the efforts of Lloyd also.
Yeah,
first,
fantastic, wasn't
second,
it?
third effort here. This
one.
tap on here. Just good presence of mind. And they had one in the square as well.
You know what I thought was the most impressive thing? I reckon Kevin Sheedy would say right now, that ball coming from centre half back to the kick of McPhee into Lloyd, that was the best 40, 50 metres of play that the Bombers have probably committed to this season. Just sheer hard work.
Cupido, 13 games for Brisbane, may have come of age at Windy Hill. Alessio out of the middle, kicks toward Jason Johnson. Ben Johnson gets the toe poke on it. Buckley, he's got 3 to beat Buckley. Close to the boundary line, and that'll be his sanctuary. Ball out of play.
Nick Mulhouse paid Damien Cupido the ultimate compliment. He's put James Clement onto him, so he recognises the threat. This is the ground covered by the 2 forwards that we're keeping an eye on. Tarrant, that surprises me. I would have thought Lloyd had been up the ground more often than Tarrant, but Tarrant must work enormously hard inside 50.
Alessio and McPhee, ball on down to Buckley. Another possession. It wobbles its way to Rioli, though. Maybe the Bombers one last chance. Bad handball. Put Hurd under pressure. Oh, is anyone that good? Around the body, high. McVeigh takes the mark, middle of the ground. Maybe one last chance for an Essendon score.
Running down to quarter time. McVeigh, Lee came from Lloyd. Didn't get there, though. Going back, filling the hole. McKee, well done, big man. Lucuria. The clock, I think, will beat them. It's quarter time. The Anzac medalist from last season finishes up with the footy, Mark McGough. What a terrific second half of the opening term by the Bombers. In trouble early, and they fought back to lead. But quarter time at the MCG, it's Essendon 4-2-26, Collingwood 2-3-15.